the topic I brought last week, there were some terms, some phrase that I use that some people, especially new ones, yeah, who were listening, who were watching the live, that don't understand this some particular words or phrase that I said. So they ask a lot of questions concerning some of those words. So I promised them that I will answer those questions for them during the live. Last week on Friday, I answered 2 of them. Then today, I promise I will answer as well few of them as well. And most probably, let me see tomorrow if I'll have time to answer them as well, the rest of them. So this is the topic I will be dealing with today. And also, as you see, it's mainly get to do with how you connect with your targeted customers, which platform you use, or which method you use answering for them today. And if you also have any question you want me to answer, or maybe you have a topic you want me to cover in one of my live, you're also very welcome to drop that down at the comment section, yeah. Or you can always inbox me, messenger. Then I will definitely create something around that. Because in business, most of the time, especially as grown-ups, sometimes we stop asking questions. If you think about it, like when we are kids, or you think about kids in general, because maybe we will not really remember or know what we used to do when we were kids. But if you take kids in general, kids love to ask lots of questions. They will ask you from one question, you answer that question, it will lead to another question, it will lead to another question. So because of their curiosity, this makes them to be a very, very fast learner. So normally when we are grown up, sometimes we become very, very shy to ask questions, because sometimes we think, maybe this question I'm thinking, or this question I want to ask, maybe people will think it's a silly question. It's a silly question, or maybe you will be thinking, what will they think if I ask this question? They will be thinking, you're supposed to know this particular question. You're supposed to know the answer to this question. So things like this, when we have all these thoughts going on in our mind, this will cause us to stop from asking questions, even though they can be very important questions. Sometimes we just stop asking questions, but it's I'm encouraging you, never stop asking questions, because it is very, very important, especially if you're into business. You don't want to stop asking questions. So this I'm going to share with you, or I'm going to answer some of the questions some asked me concerning some of the live I did last week. Yeah, so some of the words I use. So most of them were, few of them were new marketer. So they want me to answer, or they ask me about what does this word mean, what does this phrase mean that I said. So I decide, okay, you know what? Maybe they are not the only one with this question, or maybe with this kind of thought. Then I said, okay, you know what? I'll just answer them when I go live. Yeah, so it is very, very important to never stop asking questions. So the very first question I'm going to answer today, one of them asked me, what is e-newsletter? Because this was something I also mentioned during that live, e-newsletter. Yeah, so the thing is, live, like yesterday, I talked about life cycle emails. Yeah, so e-newsletter and life cycle emails, they are also like a permission-based emails that maybe you offer value to your targeted customers. Because yesterday I talked about life cycle email. So life cycle email and e-newsletter is almost the same, but as I'm explaining it, you will know the difference between these two types of emails. Yeah. So when your customers sign up for your products, or maybe your services that you're offering, you can also prompt them for them to start to subscribe, to start receiving your e-newsletter. Just like when you're doing what you do for the life cycle emails, like I said yesterday, yeah, and not yesterday, on Friday. Yeah, so e-newsletter is like typically like you distribute, it's something like emails you distribute on a weekly or monthly basis. whereas the distribution of life cycle emails is like, like I talk about again on Friday, this is like according to your campaign. That is what will determine how often you will distribute this particular email. So how does e-newsletter work? Well, e-newsletters, they are also email you sent out to both your existing and new customers. Both of them, your existing customer, this is like customers you already had before, and also new customer as well. So you send to both of these groups, yeah. So the emails can also contain like information about your product, or it can contain information about your services that you offer, or maybe a company related information, like maybe if you are into network marketing, for example, maybe you want to talk about your company in a way, of course, in a way that will attract your customers. You can also use this type of email as well. So in this regard, it is also similar to a life cycle email. So it is almost the same. These two type of emails, yeah. But like I said, life cycle emails depends on your campaign, whereas e-newsletter, this is something you do weekly or monthly basis. Like I said, also the emails can contain, like I said, it can contain information about your products, your services, and things like this, yeah. But you can also include full-length articles, or maybe even like short image-based content, which maybe you can link out to some specific landing page for your website. Like if you have a website, you can also link that. If you are using blog, or maybe you are using Twitter or LinkedIn for this ones, you can also do that as well, yeah. What is the benefit? Because sometimes you think, okay, why should I use this type of emails? I can easily like use maybe Facebook Live or video or whatever. But it is also very important to think about the benefits you get. Yeah, the thing is, an e-newsletter is a promotional tool for your content. Because remember what I've been discussing about your content, your ultimate goal for your content. You definitely want to attract your customers, your targeted customers, so that they can become your customers and repeated customers, and at some point, most probably, they become your business partner. So in that way, you are growing your business. So that is the ultimate goal for you, providing valuable information, which is the content for your ultimate targeted customers. Yeah. So say for instance, you can email your customers a newspaper or an ebook or maybe a webinar. This is like an in-depth content, in-depth value you are giving to them. That is webinar. Or maybe a video that maybe you have recently created. Like now, for example, I'm doing Facebook Live. What I normally do, I will bring this down when I'm done. I will download it, and then I will upload it on YouTube, where others as well can benefit from this particular topic as well, yeah. So there are different ways. If you have a blog as well, you can edit the same Facebook Live. You create a content around this particular topic, and then you embed it in your the topic that you've uploaded on your blog. Then they will benefit not only from the topic you've written, but also from this Facebook Live. It can be maybe somebody ask a question, for example. Maybe this person has been thinking about or searching about or something of the sort. Then they can benefit from that as well. So these are different way you benefit you target your ideal customer. Because the reason why this is very important to be giving them value, because your ultimate goal, remember, you want to grow your business. So the only way you grow your business, thank you so much, Jamila. The only way you grow your business is to be giving them value. Well, sometimes again, people think, how can I give them value? How can I give them information? But remember, you learn every day. So whatever you learn, whether it's 1 point something, whether it's 2 point something, whether you find out, for me, like for example, if I notice Facebook Live has bring a new feature, whether it's weekend or not, I normally go quickly live, maybe a few minutes, and tell, oh, Facebook has bring this particular feature for your business. Like now, Facebook has a new feature where you can go live only with audio. They will not see you, but only with audio, especially like for people who are shy for going live in front of camera, thinking, all these people see me, how I look and things. You can go live only using the audio. No one will see you. You will still see their comments and things, but they will hear your voice. They will not see your face. So if you are shy, you can also do things like this. So these are like information you can give out there to your customers, and they can benefit from this as well. Yeah, because we are humans, we are all different. Some people, they are very open to camera. Some people, they are not. So you also want to know that even though you have your targeted customer, your primary customers, but they are also different in some ways. It's very important. So you can give them different value. Like I said, you can give them ebook, like a short step by step. Maybe you'd find out if they are thinking about how to do business online, for example. Maybe you can give them 3-4 points on this ebook. It can be maybe 5-page, 6-page. Sometimes it can even be like 2-page or 3-page, but you hit the point that they will know exactly what to do. Yeah. So these are some of the benefits, some of the things you get. Then you will get the benefits from that as well. You can also maybe, like, for example, create agitated content, such as maybe a roundup of all your blog posts for a particular month. Like maybe say for the whole month, you've created a lot of blog posts, or maybe your Facebook Live. You can maybe put them all together and also send them as e-newsletter to your customers as well, so that they can continue to follow up. They will not miss out from any value you have to give out there. Yeah, this is all. This also helps you to like keep your customers engaged and also continue to build a good relationship with them. Yeah, because remember that people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And the only way they will know, like, and trust you is by you giving them valuable content, valuable information out there. If you don't give them, how they will trust you, how they will know you. But the more you give them, the more it's help them in their own business and things like that, the more they continue to build trust and the more they continue to like you. And this will like trigger their buying decision to lock arms with you and do business with you. Yeah, and this will also motivate them to become a repeated buyer, and also eventually they will even become your business partners. It happens all the time, and it is still happening now. Because even when you do this, you will be surprised that even experienced marketer will want to do business with you. It does happen all the time. So maybe you will be thinking, how can I really start building my business and things? Maybe by you giving a lot of content, you never know who is watching you. Some will watch you for some time. Some will think, okay, let me notice this person for a while, maybe 3 months, 6 months and things. Because, some people, they will come a couple of months and then they disappear. So they want to know if they will build that trust in you. So the only way they will build that trust in you, if they see that you are consistent, you show up all the time, like you said, and things like this. Or if you don't show up, at least let it be for a short, maybe a day or two or whatever. Or if you're not showing up, let them know the reason why you will not show up as at this particular time, and you want to give them a time frame when you will come up. But it should not be something constantly. Then you will not build that relationship with them. But even though maybe, for example, you don't go live, like for me, sometimes if like my kids, they are sick or something, or maybe we are at the hospital, I normally like don't go live. But what I will do, I normally post on my Facebook page that, this is the reason I will not go live, because I'm at the hospital, my children are sick. And most of the time I even put it on as check-in. So definitely they will know that what this person is saying is true. So in that way, you still build relationship with your targeted customer or with your audience. Yeah. And also it is very, very great that in this way you when you're giving out content, you build your audience, you engage your audience, and then you sell your audience. So you build your audience slowly by slowly with the value. You engage them as well with the value you are giving the information, and then you Oh, Alfredo, you said you only go live on Sundays. Well, it is also okay if even it's on Sundays, but it's something you want to be doing constantly. You don't want to go Sunday this Sunday and then after 2-3 Sundays you go live again. After 2-3 Sundays you go live again. No, but if you go live every Sunday, then they know, okay, today is Sunday. Alfredo is going live. For example, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So they will be looking forward to that live. So once they get used to it, you will not let your audience or your customer go, or that relationship will not build. But because they've used to you going live on Sundays, then definitely you will begin to build relationship with them. And the more you go live every Sunday constantly, then your relationship with them will become more, and then you begin to engage, you continue to engage with them. And when whatever you put in front of them, whatever product or services, then they will definitely be prompted to buy your product because they have built that trust in you. But if you say you're going live every Sunday, then after 2-3 weeks you go once, or maybe every month you go once, then it's difficult to build that relationship. But again, you also want them to know the reason why you go live only on Sundays, because sometimes people don't understand why do you go live only once a week, at least a couple times a week. But if you let them know the reason why you go live every Sunday only on Sundays, then you continue to build that relationship. But also, maybe if you have a blog or a website or something, you also want to direct their attention there that, okay, if even I go live, even though I'm going live on Sundays, but you can also get a lot of value from me from this particular place. Maybe YouTube, if you have a YouTube channel, or maybe if you have a blog or a website and things like this, you want to inform them about that as well. Yeah, this is the first way you can engage with your customers, by sending a newsletter to them. So this is a question I answered from someone that asked me last week, so I promise I will answer their question this week. Yeah, so the other question they asked me was what is white paper. This was also something I mentioned in one of my live as well. So for me, sometimes I think, oh, are people really taking notes, listening? But when I talk to them, and sometimes the question they send me back, when I'm like chatting with them, then it makes me to realize, oh yeah, that's true. People are really taking a note. So it's very important that you want to tell them what things that it's that will work for them in their business. Yeah. So they asked me, what is newspaper? A newspaper is also called a research paper, and it is also like a kind of extended report that focuses on a particular topic, or maybe you can elaborate or explain in detail in a particular topic. Yeah, a white paper is also a long linear narrative, which maybe like you can argue a certain concept while also backing that with arguments with data and research. Because sometimes, like for example, people who are in network marketing, for example, we always hear this thing, it's a pyramid scheme. So maybe you can use that as a topic where you can elaborate and you can argue your point and back it up with research that maybe you've done, or maybe another professional, someone has even done. You can link that to that particular topic as well. So in this way, you are like putting your point across to your targeted customers. Yeah, and also the language you use, it's also something like formal language, which might also include maybe some kind of little bit expertise in it. Yeah, because definitely you are trying to put your point across. And white paper can also consist of maybe like statistic tables, or maybe quotes from a leading research companies, for example, or concepts from academic books, or things like this. People that they trust or sites that they trust, you can also link to that. This is not something I do in my business, white newspaper, but because the person asked me and I also do research, I said let me explain this, how you can use it as well, because people use different way of marketing online. Yeah. And also white paper is also a content of the content of a white papers should also be like text heavy, meant for deep reading, because you want to really give them this deep reading for them to really understand what you are talking about. It's not like maybe give a point here and there, but you want to, it's for a deep reading. Yeah. And the purpose of writing a white paper in marketing, because maybe now you'll be thinking, why should I write this? Why should I take all this pain and write deep things, and I should just easily maybe give one or two information out there and go? But the purpose with this, it can you can like maybe talk about your expertise and also educate your prospective customers about maybe your business you're doing. Maybe if you're in a particular niche, you also have the opportunity to also bring that in. You can also if maybe you sell a product, you sell a services, or maybe you know things like this, which your customers maybe buy, or maybe they subscribe to your content. Only after a due research, then they can maybe come up with maybe you like trigger them to want to buy from you. So this is like a process, or not a process actually, but like a guide you use for them to trigger their buying decision. So you use different methods to trigger your customers' buying decision. So this is one way, especially like some people, before they buy something, they really want to make sure that they go in depth. They want to understand certain things. They want to understand maybe how the product work. They want to understand what is the benefit. They want to know if people are getting benefits from this. So these are some of the things you want to think about. It depends what kind of customers you have, because not all customers like want to go in that depth, but you also want to focus on the type of business you're doing. That is what we really prompt you to do research like this as well. Yeah. So if you are into business, you are thinking, or maybe you are into some business, maybe you experience that your customers want to know a lot before they buy from you. This can be maybe a way out for you to really put in front of them to explain about your company, or maybe the type of business you're doing, or maybe the type, without even mentioning the product. You can even go in depth about that type of product, or maybe even like the ingredients in the product, how it works, and things like this. You can come up with so many different topics just within that one particular product. And then you can begin to see how your customers will begin to relate to you because of this information they are having. Yeah. So this is another way where you can also continue to build relationship with your targeted customers by giving them value. You never stop giving your customers value. Whether it's one point you learn today, give them value, whether in the form of Facebook Live or video or blog post or whatever. Give them value today. It is very important that you never stop giving your targeted customers value. Yeah. The other question, the last question I will talk about today that they asked me, well, of course I have several of them, but this will be the last one for today. It says, what is a case study? This was also something I mentioned last week, because sometimes, when you are talking, you don't really think, because you yourself, you will know what these things mean, but sometimes we don't think about the ones we are talking to. So sometimes we just use certain words. Then it's later on sometimes it's even like when I go back and listen my video, I will say, oh, this particular word I use, I hope people understand it. Or, things like this. Or maybe it's not all the time like I go back and watch my video, but some videos, some live I do, I normally go back and watch it, especially like when I'm going to write a post on things like this. Yeah, so this is very important to like also think about the words or the phrases you use in your business, especially when you're dealing with, or maybe talking to ones who are very new in your particular niche. Yeah. So they ask me what is a white case studies. Well, both a white paper and case studies, they are primarily like business to business marketing content. I don't know if you've ever heard about this word B2B. It's business to business marketing content. It's simply like it's actually like a situation where one business makes a commercial transaction with another business. So two businesses merge together. Yeah. So this is what it means, business to business. Yeah. We see it most of the time, like even like with telephone companies and things and different businesses, they normally match together. Even like, for example, even with air flights, how you call them now? You know, this where you buy your plane tickets. How you call those people? I would think of it. But most of the time, they also merge together, where a business and a business join together. It happens with different types of business. That is what this business to business means. Yeah. So both this white paper and also case studies, they are primarily this type of business to business marketing content. Yeah. But however, there is also a very thinner line of difference in the way both of them works. Yeah. So typically, a case study features like a client story. It can, or your customer story, for example, narrating how maybe the clients use your product or your service, and also the in this way how to achieve your goal. Yeah. So it is a little bit different, the case study and this white news paper. But the case study is more or less your client, what's the benefit or the experience they get in using your product or your service. Yeah. So a case study is also typically a first-person narrative in the form of a story. So this is something I know most of you must have had. If you're in business, you must have what is it called? You must have, maybe in your company you have a case study like that, where someone is maybe through video or through writing, they are explaining how they benefit from this particular product or from this particular services, or from this particular company, for example. Yeah. So it is also a case study is also a testimonial which relates to a real event or experience. Just like I said, it's a testimonial. You can see if you go even in lots of websites or blogs, you will always see a video, a testimonial video, where maybe you have a couple of different people explaining how maybe they find this particular product or the company or things like this, and the benefit they get from that particular, and how they are still having benefits. So this is a case study, like in a short form. Yeah. Or it can even be experience, for example, as well. But it is also written in a very simple format, telling the readers about a certain companies, maybe even their challenges and the solutions, you know, how they maybe solve these challenges they experience, and also the results they get. Yeah. And also at times using even a direct quote from the company, like to say maybe you have your company, you are explaining about your you are in a company, for example, you are explaining, but you are not the owner of the company. You are maybe just part of that company, explaining. You want to explain, or maybe you want to explain to your targeted customers about this company. You can even take a direct quote, even though you are using your own words, but you want to take a direct quote, at least some portion, to like support what you are saying. So this also is a part of a case study. So what is the purpose of a case study? Well, basically it's trust building content. That is one of the purpose, because when you give this, when someone sees something on a video, then it's a trust building content. It is also created with the intent to like build your credibility and also trust among your customers, by also sharing a real life story or a real life experience. Because sometimes when people want to buy something, they want to know if others has been using this particular product or this particular service, and what's the benefit from this. You know, like for instance, if maybe your company sells training software and even solutions to other companies, Then a possible case study might, for example, feature how a certain company use their tools to maybe bring down its training cost, or maybe even save time, for example. And also you can market this case study as a press announcement or email campaign, or even host this particular case study you've done on a particular landing page of your website. Maybe you want for someone to get to that case study, you can host it, like we call it funnel, where you can put the link in that. This is also something I've done couple of months back about creating content. This is very, very important, yeah. And basically you can also use case study for anything with the sole purpose of building credibility and trust among your customers. Remember what I said earlier, that your reason of creating content is for you. You know your ultimate reason, your end goal. You want to grow your business. You want to build your business. So for you to build your business, you get to start somewhere. And where you're starting is by giving out content. And for you to build your business, it's people who will buy your products or your services. So people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So for them to know you, for them to like you, for them to trust you, you definitely have to be giving them content. These are just various ways you can give in them, whether it's e-news or life cycle email or white paper, content marketing, or doing Facebook Live or videos or blog posts or whatever, using Twitter, using Instagram images, using whatever. But at the end goal, you want to build your business. So you decide, you know what's really best for you. You know exactly where you can get your customers. That is also another very, very important thing. You want to know where your customers are. So that particular platform, that is what you want to be using to attract your customers. Yeah. So this is also like kind of like a guide. This case study is also like a kind of guide to help your prospective customers buying decision. It is very, very important, because when they buy from you, when they buy your product, when they buy your services you are offering out there, then this will help them this will help you to continue grow your business. Yeah. So it is very, very important for you, if you are not using any particular method of growing your business. This is something you want to really think about, because this is very, very powerful way of connecting or engaging, interacting with your audience, and this attracts your customer very, very quickly to you. And even in this way, you begin to build your customers. You begin to build not your customer, you begin to build your audience, and you continue to in this way you also continue to reach your targeted customers as well. So it is very, very important, no matter which way, which method, but you definitely want to find a method you're using for your business. Like the reason even why doing email is very, very important, because I don't know if how many marketers are viewing right now with me, but if you always notice, people always say the money is in the list. Like we have a very great leader in this industry, Diane Ockman. She's excellent in doing email. So things like this, she always encourages people, make sure you grow your list. Make sure you send emails to your list, because she has been doing it for very, very long time, for many, many years. So this is one of her own strategies she uses. So this helps her even to grow a business. So it's very, very important. Maybe if you're out there, you're doing marketing, you're not growing your list, it is very, very important for you to think about that. Because the thing is, remember, Facebook does not belong to us. The other platform does not belong to us. But if even, for example, Facebook decides to shut your account today, you have your list, you can still connect with your customers. It is very, very important, because when you have your list, Facebook is not going to take that away. If even maybe you are using a platform to grow your business, and for some reason maybe you stop using that platform, you still have your list of targeted customers, your targeted customer that you still continue to build that relationship with them. So it is very, very important to continue to grow your list. There are different ways you can continue to grow your list, and it is very important, and not only to grow it, but continue to engage with them. You want to be sending emails to them, if not every day, but maybe every other day or things like this. If even it's once a week, just like my good friend here, Alfredo, said, it go live only on Sundays. You can choose, if even it's once a week, you send your emails to them, and this way you slowly build they slowly build trust in you that, okay, every Monday they'll be looking for this particular email, because they know they are going to get a value from that. Yeah, so this is all I have for you guys today. It is very important. If you have question, please don't keep it to yourself. You want to drop your question on the chat box, messenger, because my messenger constantly, I always check my messages and things. So you will you are very welcome to drop me your question, or maybe if even you have a topic you want to know about, or maybe there is certain thing you want to know about marketing online, especially with working mom. I'm showing working mom how they can grow their business whilst working, and also how they can get the balance between work life and home life and growing their business, how they can couple this together to constantly be growing their business. Yeah, because growing your business at the initial stage, like I always say, in the beginning is the foundation, especially the very first year is the foundation you're building. So you don't want to really expect too much in the beginning, but at the same time you have this mindset that, you know, okay, in the beginning I will not be seeing that much, but I know I'm growing my business, I'm building the foundation for my business. So maybe you want to know, you are a mother, you want to know how to have this balance, you are very welcome to reach out to me. I'll give you some of my roadmaps I use to help you as well. If even maybe you're a single mom, you're also you also have your own business you're doing, or you're trying to build your business, you're working, you're also very welcome to drop me, to reach out to me. I will make sure I will help you out with that. Yeah. So guys, I don't know if any of you have question or whatever, but you're also very welcome to share and tag this video with ones that you know that will benefit from this particular topic today. Yeah, but tomorrow I will also answer a few of them. I also know one of someone asked me a question, but by the time I finished, it was on Friday. By the time I finished, that was when I saw your question. Angela, that was what I saw your question, but I think I replied to that I will answer your question. It's on one of those live, so I will answer your question maybe tomorrow, or most probably the day after. Yeah, so that's because I also have a couple of other questions I just want to answer, because you know, a promise is a promise. When you promise something, you want to make sure that you deliver that as well. Yeah, so guys, this is all I have for you this evening. I hope you got value from this. If you do, I would love for you to share this video. Yeah, and also I normally go live every Mondays to Friday between 10:30 in the evening, at night, 10:45, in between that. Yeah, so what was it I wanted to say? And Fridays it's question and answer, Q&A, where you come up with any question you have, or yeah, a topic you have, you want me to talk about, or based on marketing online. Yeah, so you are very welcome to bring that on Friday, then we can answer that. Or maybe just like some did also, they maybe ask question and things like this, you're also very welcome to drop in your comments, your question. I will also take that during Friday live. Yeah, because the reason why I want to answer this question, normally it's not question and answer I do Mondays to Friday, but because I don't want, I've promised them I will wait, and normally when the question is fresh in your mind, it's very important that you want to deliver how to, yeah, or how to answer those particular questions. So that was why I decided, okay, let me just clear these questions, and then I will continue with the different topics that I've been